whenever I do content, I'm a content creator. Hey, David.
Welcome back, guys. We are at episode 2 of the podcast. We have our very first external guest today. Today's episode, as you can see by the title, is Reflection Upon Injection. Now, this person has over 9k followers on Instagram, is already verified, and has just hit 3k followers today on TikTok. Congratulations.
Well done.
And that is Jen, and you will see just her little face over here for the rest of the screen, and just underneath her now there'll be a quick little tag for her Instagram and TikTok, which is the same. Nice and easy for us.
Love that.
For me. Just a little quick one. Say hello and introduce yourself.
Jen, I'm from Wales. I started logging my kind of journey on Instagram last year. I didn't expect it to go anywhere. I stayed private on there, and I was like, if I hit 1,000 followers, I'll go public. That happened in like a month. So wow. And it's taken off since.
That's amazing.
So yeah.
A month.
9k on Instagram and 3k on TikTok now. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Growth. That's really.
It's crazy. That's like what, a year's growth?
Like a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
More or less.
That's crazy. Well, that's amazing. Like, it shows that obviously people resonate with your journey. You obviously must have something relatable about yourself, or maybe people just love to laugh at the Welsh. We don't know. It could be any of the above.
It's probably that. Yeah, they love to take my accent.
They're just watching for all the scenic views that she goes on.
Yes, the Welsh mountains.
The Welsh, yeah, we're very lucky.
So, obviously, with the title of this, you did start with Manjaro. I know you've done a few different things, if I'm right, so we could talk all about that. But obviously with Manjaro, when it first came out, it was all like NHS or not so crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And it was all a bit like when everything's new. Like when people started vaping, it's so negative. No one knows anything about it. Yeah. No one really understands it until people do clinical trials and whatnot, and there's all the surveys done and stuff.
I don't think we should compare it to vaping because everyone said vaping was a better alternative to smoking.
But I'm talking about stigmatisms.
Yes, the stigma. Yeah, behind the
Manjaro, obviously, everyone decided that was a lazy, a cheat, or whatever. And like, I don't feel like that. I feel like it's similar to like diet pills and people that have surgeries. It's for each individual's choice, and it's more a tool than a fix.
Yeah.
And for instance, yourself, you have combined that with your nutrition and exercise and ongoing journey, which is going to be a lot more combined healthy for you and help actually get the most out of that tool. Whereas our people that will just take Manjaro for the food noise, stop eating altogether, and then kind of get themselves into a bad state, because then I know quite a few people that did it, stopped taking Manjaro, massive problems, because they hadn't actually done anything to help with everything else while they're doing the food noise, because obviously they just weren't eating because they weren't hungry. And then as soon as they stopped doing it, they were starving because their body had just been eating their own fat for 6 months. So it all depends on what you do with that tool, I think.
Yeah.
So
Jen, would you be able to tell us a little bit about what kind of started you off in Manjaro, your initial thoughts about it, and kind of like how you implemented that into, starting to add exercise and eating better within that?
I feel like I've always been on a diet. I feel like I don't remember a time where I haven't been on a diet. And I feel like I started reading about Manjaro. I first started reading about Wegovy, but it was the same time that Manjaro got launched in the UK. So any website I went on to have a little research and things like that of Wegovy, it just swapped straight to Manjaro. So it was like, Manjaro's this amazing, new drug to help you lose weight, things like that. So I just took the plunge and ordered it. It was literally a whim. I decided like the night before and the day after I ordered it. And it just went from there. But I knew that I wanted to do it properly. So I was already started back on kind of like my exercise journey. And started kind of eating healthy, but it's so hard. I feel like, I've been quite honest about it on Instagram. I've had an eating disorder. So it's really difficult to stop eating or eat less, move more. That's just not feasible for some people, and it wasn't for me.
Well, it's like a lot of people would say, like, Manjaro is like the off switch. And as you say, you've got like a food eating disorder, and like I think a lot of people suffer with it and don't talk about it. I know people in my life that suffer with it. People that overindulge and then they'll go to the bathroom and do something about that, which is very unhealthy for them, or people that wouldn't eat for days on end because they just felt like they were never comfortable in their own bodies. So there are the extremes, and like for me, when I was drinking, it's kind of like I used to do the same, whereas I wouldn't do it for a while and then I'd overindulge, and that was the same like when I was eating.
It's binging.
Just binging, and that's what I do when I was eating as well, because I would not eat all day and I'd eat heavy meals when I got home. There was bad meals. And that's where my food problems were, was eating heavy and eating crap. And I can definitely understand to a degree, probably not as extreme as yourself, but we all struggle.
Yeah,
I know
it's a coping mechanism, isn't it? It's how you cope. Like you said, with alcohol, is how you cope, and food was how I coped. If I had a bad day, I'd eat food, but then I might not eat for 2 days later because of the guilt, and then you start again because you're starving. And then you binge, and then you start.
And then you end up eating more.
It's like going down the rabbit hole, basically.
It's so dangerous. It's so dangerous, and I don't think I kind of was honest with myself. I was definitely not honest with anybody else until I kind of started Manjaro and started feeling like, okay, is this what kind of normal people feel like around food?
And it sounds horrible to say, but it's that sense of shame, isn't it?
It is.
You feel ashamed in yourself.
Yeah.
And it's all mental because, like you say, when you started seeing like Wegovy and Manjaro, that you obviously think, well, then that means surely there's other people that suffer with what I'm suffering with, and maybe normal isn't actually normal. Everyone has problems, everyone has issues, and that's why people need to speak about their problems more. I'm sat here literally wearing a Boys Get Sad 2 t-shirt on because that's something that I'm massively big on. I'm terrible for it. I will always close up, and it's something that I still to this day struggle with, and I've tried and force myself to do more now. So it's like every walks of life have different things that they struggle with, So I definitely get that. The one thing I will say is obviously, I don't know what you know about Manjaro and stuff like that, but obviously it's an injection.
Yep.
How did you find doing that? So like for instance, someone like myself, I might be covered in tattoos, but I hate needles. I'm petrified of them. So I hate blood tests, everything like that. I had a really bad experience when I was younger, but like a tattoo for a needle, I'm not bothered about because it's not necessarily going in this. That's like repeated stabbing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So
they are
the
so
thought
small,
of doing something like that.
They're tiny. Like they are literally like this big. They're so minute.
Oh, like a little like
the
little
pin pricks
insulin one.
for
It's like
the diabetes
you
ones.
screw it on the pen.
Yeah.
And then it's different. I've only got Wegovy pens now, so I can't show you. But you literally, it's the same. You just screw it on. It's like a tiny little nib. It's hardly anything, but it's fine. I've got tattoos as well, and it's fine.
And that's what I say. You are now on Wegovy.
I'm now on Wegovy.
So what prompted the change? And how long was you on Manjaro for? What brought upon the change? Was it the massive influx in prices? Was it you did a bit more research and thought this one's a bit better for me? What kind of brought that upon?
Well, I stayed on it for a year, and I didn't. I'd already lost 8.5 stone before. I think that. I don't know, before I'd started Manjaro, and I was kind of putting it back on because I was back like binging again. So I lost about 2.5 stone, I think, over the year with Manjaro, which is amazing. But it's not what people were losing. I was watching everybody else, and I was thinking, I just don't understand why. For me, we still got I've still got 6 stone to lose to be a healthy BMI. To me, I just couldn't fathom why it wasn't working for me. It was really difficult, and like I said, I stayed on it for the year because my brain was just the best place when you suffer with your mental health. As you know.
Definitely.
It's because obviously there's so much research now into Manjaro helping with addiction. There's loads of trials going on for low doses with people who've got alcohol addiction, drug addiction, things like that. So my brain was a really nice place to be.
Okay.
For once in my life. But I just wasn't losing any weight from it. I was trying so hard, how much exercise I do with what I share online and things like that. And it just wasn't working, and I wasn't cheating, I wasn't overeating, it just was not shifting off me. But I think I had a little chat with one of my friends who was a nurse, and it's kind of like because of all the binging and all of the dieting and things like that, my metabolism just, I think, is shot.
I can get that. But like you were just saying, sounds like you stayed on it for so long because of the mental.
It was the
relief you
mental
was
side of
getting.
things.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't realise as well. Like I say this all the time. You hate it when I say this. It's like no longer have motivation. I have dedication, and it's like it's taken me so long to get to that point. Like I don't want to go out for runs. I don't want to go to the. How many times do we go? And I'm like, I don't want to go this week. And we go and we feel better. And it's like, and that sounds like it's like that for you. Like the relief of the noise in your head gives you that clarity to be able to do other things. To focus on other things in your life, because when your brain is so overstimulated, you've got so much going on in your brain, it's like drowning. I don't know how to get that over to anyone. It is literally like drowning. Or if you ever go to the pool and you just put your head under and it goes really quiet but you can hear everything, that is exactly what the inside of your head can sound like. And it's just the most daunting feeling in the world.
It sounds like that all the time.
And
it never turns off.
But it's not funny. And that's why we say you should talk about things more. And like I always say to my friends, I was there for you, and they would say the same. And like, we always do check-ins on people because you just never know who's suffering. And like to have that relief for such a long time, to then take the plunge to go to Wegovy was such a big mental risk more than anything. Obviously,
it was,
I think it was the physical one you was looking for the benefit of to hopefully combine.
Yeah, I wanted to lose some weight, so I did loads of research. It wasn't something I did really quick. Like I started Mounjaro on a whim, but it wasn't swapping to Wegovy, and I swapped way before the price hike and things like that because that kind of rocked everybody. I started before then just because I wanted to get some weight. I wanted to see my kind of efforts paying off. I can see them physically. Like that's why I share so many photos. I've hardly got any before photos. That's the problem, because I'd start a diet, take my photos, finish the diet the day after and delete them all. So I've got very minimal before photos. But I feel like I just wanted to give it a try. And the more research I was doing, it was saying that some people kind of benefit more from GLP by itself. So Mounjaro is a dual agonist, so it's got GIP as well, which does something to the food noise in your brain, which is what is lacking in Wegovy. So it's quiet, but it's not like Mounjaro. Like Mounjaro is silence.
So it's still like the background noise, so to speak.
Yeah, it's totally different. Yeah. But it's working, touch wood, it's working for me. I'm still not losing fast, but like I said, I think it's the metabolism.
Right.
Losing fast is
it's not the way to go.
I did lose fast, but
the
now
thing is I suppose it's for everybody when you start it the first however much you first lose, that goes quite fast, but then your body starts getting used to what you're doing and what you're eating, and it's like, okay, well I can balance it off now. And then you've got to do something like you said. You changed from Mounjaro to, I can't remember what the other one's called. Wegovy. But yeah, obviously you need to. Yeah, you say you need to apply some changes just to keep your body second guessing itself. Like, well, what are you doing now? What are you doing now?
Exactly.
Like, you're going on big runs now.
Big runs.
And I'm going on big-ish runs.
I'm going on little runs.
And
little runs.
Little runs, tiny runs.
That's where I started.
It's making an impact on me now.
Oh, yeah.
Like this morning, I weighed the least I've weighed in years, which is good.
Yay.
But I'm it's like, well, when's that going to stop? When's it going to stop?
Yeah.
And then what am I going to have to do? Because it for me, it plateaued when I wasn't exercising. I was just eating better.
Yeah.
It plateaued, and I stuck at the same weight for ages and ages and ages and ages till I started trying to do something different.
Yeah. And I was going to say in relation to that, because obviously, you do go to the gym and you do weights.
Yeah.
Your body's going to get to a natural, like, where what you're taking in is matching what you're exerting. And then it's just about then reevaluating either your diet or your exercise, because that deficit has hit the plateau. And that's what people forget, is that people go, well, if I eat this many calories and I'm losing weight, and then they're wondering why it stops. Because your body's readjusted to that, because your metabolism has actually now shifted to match what you're doing. And then, like I say, you started the Couch to 5K now, which is on top of what you were doing. And if you're eating the same, your exercise has gone up. Yeah. So actually, you will then start seeing a new push in the weight loss because you're doing something completely different. And how Ryan knows, I always say to him, running burns so many calories more than weights.
It does.
So many.
But weights is like, I said to you, didn't I? I felt like I didn't ever expect running to have the same effect. When I go to the gym, I get that silence. It's like quiet. It's just the place where I can relax. Yeah. And I never ever thought I'd get that from running. I was like, nah, not
I don't think anyone ever does. I say all the time, running is the only time where I can spend an hour and a half shouting at myself. Yeah. And then when I finish, feel so much better because I have cleared my head. Like today when I went on my run, the first 45 minutes, I was just in mental torture because I'd left my grandma for 45 minutes until Sophie got home and told me that she was all right. After that, my mind cleared, and my body felt better, and everything relaxed, you know. And it is that tension in your brain. It's
quite funny because you kept saying, "Oh, you were slowing down," and you said, "Yeah, that's probably you were knackered." I reckon it's just because you relaxed and you slowed down to a comfortable pace. You're like, "Okay, I can enjoy this now."
Possibly, or maybe I was running to get back quicker before.
Maybe,
yeah,
maybe.
So, but for anyone who doesn't know, I ran my longest run today, which was 17k. Absolutely mental.
That is mental. It's amazing, but it's
week one of half marathon training was 17k, so that was good. Longest ever run by 2k, but it's the first time I've run anything over 10k in like 6 weeks. So I was not expecting to get that far, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie, Ryan. I got to 16k and I was by the bear down the road, and I thought I might as well beat him now.
I thought so.
So as we was talking about running, Ryan's mentioned it. You've mentioned it. Mm-hmm. You have now started the Couch to 5k journey.
I have.
Tell us about how you're finding it. Most importantly, I need to know whose voice you've chosen as your guide, because this will determine whether or not we can carry on liking you.
I've chosen Sarah Milligan. Oh, what's the matter with her now?
So the last podcast, I ripped into Sarah Milligan. I found her voice very grating.
Oh, do you? Oh, she calls me Flower and Pet, and I love it.
Yeah, and that's fine then.
Flower and Petal. What's wrong with that?
It's just,
I don't see a problem with it, Jen. I think that's fine.
I really like her.
I'm going to get you a video clip of...
I don't know who she is, but
I'm going to get you.
I think that's fine.
I'm going to get hate for this, but I hate comedians. But I love her. Look at his face.
Comedians.
It's whatever floats your boat, whatever tickles your pickle, whatever makes you comfortable to run for an extended period of time.
So, Ryan doesn't really know anything about Couch 5k. The last podcast, he said, so you just got up and did 5k. And I said, no. So I was trying to explain to him how it kind of works.
Yeah.
But you'll be a lot more in tune with it because obviously I finished mine a little while ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, so you can talk us through your first 3 weeks on the segments that you had.
Oh, it's more raw.
Yeah. So I couldn't remember how many of each it was. I think it was like 8, then 6, then 3, but I wasn't sure. So you can tell us where you're up to and what the next week is planned for you, kind of thing. Tell us about where you've gone running and just any struggles that you found with it, any gear that you've bought, and just kind of go with that, really. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm on week 3. I've started that today. So week 1 was 60-second intervals of running. So I think there was 8 altogether. So you do 60 seconds walking, 60 seconds running, and there was 8 of those, and you repeat that 3 times. And then last week it jumped to 90 seconds of running. I really struggled with that.
60-second rest.
Yeah.
It's still the 60-second rest? Yeah, I thought so.
No, it's 90-second rest. I'm sure. I can't remember now, put me on the spot. But it's about that. I found that really hard. I found the jump from... I feel like my first one, I was fine. And then my second run of the week, I felt really, really disheartened. I know I said to you, didn't I, that I'm just not going to do it anymore. There's no point. Like, I was shattered. I just couldn't... It was just one of those days where I couldn't get my legs to move, if that makes any sense. Yeah. They were so heavy, and I was really like negative about it. Yeah. And but I went out and did my 3rd one, and it took me like 3 days to get back out though. I think it did put me off a little bit, but I tried not to let it get to me too much. And it was good. I did it. And then today was really good. So one of my friends on Instagram actually said to me, week 3 is easier than week 2, so please don't stop. And I was like, don't be silly, because you've got to run for 3 minutes.
I mean, I don't know what to say, because I struggled more with the stop starting as well. So when it got to the longer ones, I was thinking every week, how can I do this? It's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I found the more bigger it got, the easier it got. It sounds mental.
It does.
Because the start is for people that are so inactive, it's to do the short bursts. But I found that harder because the stopping is what did me in. It wasn't the running. The running was the harrowing. But the stopping, when I was recovering, that's where my legs were getting heavy. That's where I was getting tired.
Yeah.
And like now, I could go out for a run, and the first 2K is normally always the hardest. I'll have times and days where I feel like I can't do this. I can't even get to 1K.
Yeah.
And I still feel that links into your brain, and that your brain's kind of trying to tell you to, it's not having it today, and it's more about getting past that barrier. And as soon as you do that, you're flying. So
you always say it's a mental battle.
yeah,
It is.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
I've literally had days. Well, go on.
No, I was just gonna say I didn't really get it when people said that before, but now I do get it, and like I did, it really, really pinged me earlier on to tell Courtney that he was right, because he told me to go on Strava and look at my pace, and I said no chance.
Ah,
yeah, but I did today, and it was so much better than last week.
But just looking at the pace, already mentally helped you.
Yeah.
Because you were doing, like, was it 14 last week and this was 11?
11, yeah. So it was still slow, but obviously, like you said, that's running and walking.
That's a significant jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's already 3 down in a week. It's in like 2 days, but it's like the third week or whatnot. But you'll find the more you're running longer and the less you are walking, that pace is going to keep dropping and dropping and dropping.
Yeah.
So, like, now, our paces, I think you run at a pace of about between low 7s, high 6s, right?
6.
And I run depending on what I'm doing. So like today, my 17K, I just want to say it out again. Okay.
Get it in.
I did it at 6.43 for the whole thing.
See,
but I started
crazy.
out fast. And at the end I was doing like 7.20s and 7.12s and stuff. And it sounds crazy. And like when Sophie says, "Oh, you can't do it," and I tell her all the time, I said, the whole time I did count to 5K, I focused on 2 things: my breathing and my stride. And that's what I said to you. Breathing and stride. They are the 2 key things that I always find. Everything else will fall into place.
Yeah.
But if you can get to a point where you can keep your breathing under control, and especially when I was heavier, I struggled with the breathing.
That's my
it was all
struggle.
chesty. It's chesty, you know?
Yeah.
But the better I got at breathing. And do you know what I used to do? I used to count my breaths. So the person that you chose, Sarah McClellan for you, would say, I think when you get the long one, she says, like, count to 6. I'm breathing. I couldn't do that at the start. Yeah. I think my lungs were still done in from the smoking and the vaping. But I used to just count to 4. I used to count in 1, 2, 3, 4, out 1, 2, 3, 4. And I would do that the whole time.
That's what it is at the moment. Yeah. So this week now is focusing on breathing. And I think, did I say to you earlier on that I ran without any music for the first time?
Yes, you did.
It was purely because I wanted to hear myself. I know it sounds really silly, but I wanted to concentrate on my breathing more. Yeah. So, that was kind of my focus today. Was just the breathing. The first week when I finished run 3, I was so upset, and it wasn't in a bad way. It was just that I just couldn't believe it. Like, you know, I've not made it any secret that I just couldn't even walk for 3 minutes. So the fact that I was doing any kind of running was just kind of bizarre to me, and I was really, really emotional that first week because I just couldn't believe that I had actually stuck to it.
Yeah, because you posted your reel of it, and obviously in the reel you was very, very emotional. Yeah. And like you could see that was raw, and that's pride, and that is like when Sophie finished the 10K race on, I was emotional, but she was so emotional. And I said last week, that's that validation of you've been working for something for so long, and to get something completely different than what you look for. Like, everyone looks at the scale victories. Like literally yesterday, I had a non-scale victory. I've not even told Sophie about it yet because I've not even managed to. But I've got work shirts that are all XL. I tried on the large yesterday and it fit. I've got one at home so I can go home and show my family that it fits. Yeah. And that's a massive thing. Like, and that's where you get like emotional. It's like when you can see them things that are not a scale victory, I think they matter more because you never notice it. You don't notice the body changes until you look at those photos and stuff. Like like I still think of myself as that person. And I was looking at the videos the other day, and I posted one of me and Willow, and it's like my face was like just a big circle.
Oh, you wait until when I finished our Amsterdam video.
God,
I've been editing that, and you're just a ball.
A ball. I was just a ball. It was mental. It's just I still see myself as that person at times.
I do as well. I still, you know, like I said, I've not made any secret of it either. At my heaviest recorded, I was 2 pounds off 30 stone.
Madness.
Wow.
So it's crazy. And you lost over 10 stone now, way over 10 stone, right?
Well, I'm £2 off 11 stone.
£2 off 11.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think the thing is when you get to a point and you look at yourself and you're like, I'm not happy with myself, not happy with how I look, I'm not happy with my health. And you see, people like yourself who's obviously going to have been an inspiration for several other people.
Yeah.
You're been an inspiration for myself and others as well. And sometimes people look at that and go, well, I could never do that. Yeah. But the trick is, I thought I could never do that. You probably thought you could never do that.
Definitely.
And
I still think I can't do that.
Yeah.
But you will. That's the thing. You will.
Well, that's what you will.
Yeah.
The trick is just to try.
Yeah.
If you don't try,
you never know.
You won't.
You never know.
Yeah.
How many times do we say when we do stuff, if you said do this a year ago, if this was us a year ago, we'd have been over the road in the pub, getting super drunk. And
things do happen for a reason. I do believe that. I feel like it's the right time for everybody to do certain things. And like I said, because I got so far to go as well. Sometimes it is hard to see yourself. I don't see myself kind of how I look at the minute. I see myself as that bigger person again.
Yeah.
And I think because I've still got so much weight to lose, I'm kind of at the same size as most people starting weight. So, and that's really like plays with my mind a massive amount.
But to me, that sounds like you're kind of caught up in the end goal, and that's where you need to take that step back and focus on the now.
Yeah.
And for instance, like we say about like where we want to get to and stuff, and that includes like our running or our weight or our gym goals. You can so get caught up on the final product that you kind of miss in the journey.
Yeah.
So like doing this Couch 5K, I think will massively help you.
I think so.
I noticed so many changes in myself, not necessarily physical. Like, obviously, it helped physically massively, but my mental that's where it's made me who I am. And I talked about you before we started, but on Strava, Couch 5K, I follow the group. So get yourself on that. You can get in the club and you can post your stuff and you get people like comment and stuff.
Yeah.
But they sent me a message the other week about how they've got a podcast and they're looking to do a series 2. And it's like, put your name, your age, where you're from, and your story. And before we did this today, sat down and wrote a whole email out of my journey. And and I've applied for it. Might not get it, you never know. But at the very bottom, all I put was, I'd like to thank them, because at the end of the day, I've put in the hard work, I've put in the effort, but that was the building block that changed everything for me, and it saved my life. You
just need that switch.
Yeah.
That switch just to go, actually, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do. I put a post on earlier on, I think it was just before we kind of started this, just saying that I'm not focusing on the scales at the moment, because I feel like I've upped my exercise. Like, obviously, I've always done a lot of weights anyway, for the last year. So I think I need to take my mind off, because, like I said, my body is changing so much, and I'm trying to take a lot of photos and progress pictures and things like that. And I do want to do a little bit in the gym, but I'm afraid of filming in the gym. So
we do it. Oh, cameraman Ryan here does a lot for me.
Yeah. I feel self-conscious, and I'm not the one being recorded. It's him.
But like when I used to go on a Thursday and you weren't there, I'd still film myself. I'd pop it up, and it was that first. I mean, I'm quite lucky that when I go, because of my work times, it's quieter.
It's quiet. Yeah.
It's not heaving, but there were still people there. People still look, but you look around, there's people doing stuff like filming, recording that, and I think now, especially, like, I'm not going to say that I'm one, obviously, but you definitely are more towards the era of influencer, that is now
I hate that
a norm. I know, but that's a norm. That is
more
a norm.
widely accepted.
A social
and
media
also, the
prospect.
thing is you go to the gym, and whether you're recording or you're doing weights or trying out a new thing or whatever, you're always like side-eyeing everyone, because you're like self-conscious. It's like, we're doing it right. But I keep saying to myself in my head, realising nobody cares. Nobody cares what you're doing.
They don't.
They're there.
They look at themselves.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, yeah, because they're all vain.
He's just there stood in front of the mirror doing this all the time.
My only pose. That's all I've got.
And it doesn't let me get in the background of the pictures.
No, I do. That's a lie.
Oh, I didn't see it. Well, yeah.
But it's like, like I say, everyone's doing their own thing. But especially with the running community as well, and you noticed it straight away, like Sophie and me noticed it instantly, is how open and welcoming they are. Like, they will take anyone, they love it. And like we do our park run, and there are people there that walk, there are people there that do all sorts, and it's such an open community. And I think the gym is like that. Like, sometimes I do see people going over to people saying, like, you know, this is trying to help them, and it's like, I do feel like it is a case of people want people to do things right, because one, they don't want any injuries.
Yeah.
Two, if you see someone doing something wrong, you know, I had bad posture and someone told me about it, and I had to readjust, and it's like, people aren't doing it to put you down. I think that's when you start so big, you feel like everything that everyone says to you is a criticism, and sometimes you don't take it in the positive light that they mean it.
You don't.
Whereas I think that community.
But that's because you automatically get your back up. I think when you're bigger, you automatically say something so that somebody else doesn't say it for you. Does that make sense? So like,
I understand that.
It's just just your back is completely up when you're bigger.
Yeah. Like
and to an extent, I still feel it now. Like, I feel like, do you know when I'm running past people, in my head, it's like, for the first week, I couldn't run past anybody. I think I did the first week, anytime I seen somebody, I stopped. And I did it on a really quiet part by my house. It's like a canal and there's hardly anybody there. But if somebody did walk past, I'd stop running and just carry on walking. And now I've overcome my fear. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is, and that's what it's about. It's about them little victories are amazing, because that now means that when you do start doing the longer runs, you are going to be running past people, and you're going to be less self-conscious. And I always think, if I see someone, like, especially now that I've started running, I notice people running all the time, and you always nod at each other now. There's this little
It's weird, isn't it?
Everyone nods, like, everyone smiles.
It's the same with walking, though, isn't it? Everybody says morning, or they do around here in Wales anyway. Saying good, like, good morning, good
everyone
afternoon.
says morning. I'm like back going.
I mean, everyone around here just says, "Give me the phone and keys."
You just try to compose yourself for that 1 second when you just to make sure that they don't.
Yeah, it's almost like you stop breathing.
That you're dying.
To walk past that person.
Suck in, you're like, I'm fantastic. And then they go by, you're like,
Definitely, that's what I was doing today.
But the fact that you're doing that and you're conquering them fears is amazing, because as the runs get longer, the chances of seeing people are more. And also, I know Ryan does this, he hates doing the same route, whereas I do like similar routes, and I'll mix up now and then.
Yeah.
Gets bored, you know? And that's where I differ, because for the mental side, I prefer doing the same route to get bored, so that I'm training myself to not get bored. Because like this half marathon I'm about to do is 8 laps of one racetrack.
Yeah.
So I need to be able to just focus on one thing over and over again.
He says I'm not doing it.
No, me and Sophie are.
You and Sophie are,
half marathon, January 18th. Ooh, second times.
Exciting.
Scary times.
Scary. You are mad, but it's exciting.
Things we're doing 2 in 3 months.
2 in 3
So we're doing the Knutsford one in March as well. That's the one we originally planned to do.
Yes.
And then this one came up.
The thought of doing a 5k at the minute is kind of like crazy to me.
I mean, that's what we were like. I thought I would never do a 5k. And then I think we got to week 8, run 3, and we just decided to go to the park run. We were like, if we don't do it, we don't do it, you know, we can walk it.
Yeah.
We did it, we both did it.
Yeah.
So, it's mental.
Well, you might surprise yourself. You might surprise yourself, because I surprised myself. Yeah. I hadn't done a 5k. The most I'd done was like 2.5k.
Yeah.
And I was like, I went out. I was like, right, I'm gonna get 5k done. Yeah. And I ended up doing double.
Crazy.
But I think when you get the rhythm, when you do like the length of 5k, you get a rhythm that you're like, okay, comfortable with, and your breathing's good. Then you feel like you can go forever and ever and ever. Well,
I don't know about that yet, but but I've kind of taken it seriously. Does that make sense? Like from the first run, I spoke to you tonight and said about a running vest, and I ordered one literally that day. Yeah. And I wore that on my next my next run. So I've taken it like really seriously since I was like, I'm not going to give it up.
Yeah, because I said to you, like, literally what me and Sophie did. I said, running vest. Sophie got them from TikTok shop. And then in Toxo's ones. We went to Sports Direct. I bought us 2 sets of just Carrymore trainers. They were like 35 quid on offer, but they were proper trail ones, because we ran like Sense Valley and stuff. Running socks. Anyone who wants to start Couch 5K, this is very important. The first thing you should buy is running socks, because your feet will blister. And once you go down that road, it's hard to come back. Yeah. Because it hurts a lot.
I have blisters on my feet because I got some new shoes and decided to do a long run on them without breaking them in.
Exactly.
Ooh, rookie, yeah.
So my hockers, I did a couple of 5Ks, but I took them to the gym for 2 weeks for the Alton Towers, didn't I?
Yeah.
Like, so normally I wear my underarm ones, but I wore them hocker bundies because I knew that I wanted to wear them for Alton Towers, so I had to break them in. So I was doing my little 5K runs in it. I did one long run in it, and I did a load of gym sessions in it. And that's what I would say with the gym. I know you do the weights, but the first thing we do in the gym is we do a 20-minute run. And I've found that, also I'm not saying do a 20-minute run, I'd say do what you're comfortable with to start with, even if it's a walk and then a run, like you're doing like with that. It's just that, I tell you all the time, you keep saying, oh, well, how do you get quicker and faster? And that's how, because I do a run for 20 minutes till I get comfortable with it, and then I push the pace up by just 0.2 decibels. Because that's how you get better. Because the hardest run in the world is to run on a treadmill. And that, to me, is a fact. It is so mentally boring. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I don't do any cardio in the gym.
Or
I know.
That's the thing. No cardio.
I don't. I never have done.
That's mad. Well, I mean, we didn't used to. We've forced ourselves.
I just do a slower round. That's all I do. Like less reps, lower weight. Yeah.
That's fair. That still works, like I say, but it's just more like, like I say, it's just one thing I know that it massively helps me improve.
You probably should do it.
Yeah. You probably should do it.
Probably should do it, I just don't.
That's fair enough. There you go then.
It's whatever works for whoever you really, isn't it? It's not what works for us might not work for you. So
yeah, I feel like I would be knackered doing a 20-minute run and then I'm doing.
Well, I'm not saying do 20. I'm saying like just do something that you're comfortable with to start.
Just a 5 minute,
like 5 minute blast. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
When I'm not feeling doing a 20-minute run before doing weights at the gym, I jump on the rower and do 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Just 3 minutes on the rower, and it's for me. It's just about getting your heart rate up, getting your blood pumping a bit, and just
feeling loose as well.
Yeah. Just ready to.
And then one time he made a mistake of doing the Stairmaster and nearly died.
Yeah, don't go on the stair ones.
Yeah, that's what you do after you wait.
I just never do it. No, I'm not getting on that.
But this was the point. I was doing everything in my power to just not run.
Yeah, that was when I was on total avoidance, weren't you?
Yeah.
Total avoidance mode. So what we'll do is, before we run out of time again, guys, let's move on quickly to your future goals. So obviously, we are doing Couch 5K.
Yeah.
But I believe you have got something to tell us about what you've been doing in the background of everything upon your normal work.
Yeah. So I have been doing some courses. So I'm currently waiting for my results of my second exam from my marketing qualification. And I've also been studying for I have got it now. So I got my level 3 nutrition and weight management coach.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, next year I'm also going to be doing my PT qualification because I have decided I want to set up something and be somebody that I needed at the beginning of my journey. So somebody who understands exercise in a plus size body. So, you know, where I've started going to Pilates recently and I don't look like the girls who go to Pilates. You know, my body moves differently. I will never look the same in kind of a pose that they will look the same in. So I just feel like I worked with a PT last year for about 6 months, 7 months, and we kind of worked things out together. So if there was something that I couldn't do because a certain body part kind of was in the way or something, then we would amend it and we would move it around to suit me. And I feel like that's a scary part. So that was putting me off the most, kind of going and doing exercises in the gym and things like that, was if I had to do something differently to somebody else. It was the fear of kind of sticking out and not being the same. So yeah, I just kind of had the idea one day that I was just going to do this business. And it literally, one of my best friends, Louise, that I met on Instagram, I told her, and I was like, I'm going to set up this business. Like, here's my name. I've got the name of the company and everything. And she was just so supportive. And literally 10 minutes later, she's a graphic designer. She sent me my logo as well. Brilliant. So she was like, do you like this? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've it's in the works. I've got like a website set up, and I've got all of my disclaimers and policies and everything like that. And I've got all of the kind of nutrition side of things sorted. But yeah, it's obviously the physical exercise stuff now, PT, having somewhere. I want to train probably predominantly women in some way that they can feel safe. So like my PT had a home gym in her garage, and I owe a lot to her. I told her like she's the reason behind me wanting to do this, for how safe she made me feel. You know, like when you're a bigger person, I'm sure it's the same for you men as well. Like if your top comes up while you're doing an exercise, like it's constantly, you just want to pull it down and you want to make yourself look better. And I feel like, you know, that was hard for me at the beginning, and having that safe place that I could go and exercise and not have to worry about anybody else being there or judging me. I want to do that for other women.
Yeah,
that's great.
Not only that, now you've moved on to like more public settings and stuff. So like, it's kind of like
PT.
the building block. Yeah, it's the building block, isn't it? It's like, you know, you want to do the things till you're comfortable, because maybe you weren't comfortable in a public setting, but then you've taken what you've learned in that private setting, and then you have been able to you know, walk through those front doors. And you know, that's what we used to say, like the hardest part is getting through those doors, because like you say, you're in there, you think people are watching you straight away like a hawk, and it is daunting. It is. And you just got to tell people, and it's hard to tell people, because you can tell people as many times as you want, until someone is ready to do it themselves, you can't help them. But take that plunge. That's the only advice I could give anyone for anything you want to do. It doesn't have to be fitness.
But that's a great thing to offer to people as well, giving them, you know, is, as you say, a safe space to go and do that. People who aren't confident just walking in the doors of a gym or somewhere like that. You know, that's a great thing to offer people, because some people, I probably wouldn't have gone to the gym if you hadn't come with me, to be fair. No, myself.
Definitely not. Because you say that, I won't go if you don't go. Basically.
Yeah. So
I kind of use the gym. There's a gym, a pool gym, literally opened like 2 minutes in the car from my house, and it was in my head, and I was like, right, when pool gym opens now, that is when I'm going to join. I'm going to go there. And then I used to go to like the leisure centre gym with my friend, but she was very much a cardio girl, and I love weights, and I was just like, oh, I just want to go, and I want to have somebody to train with. And I do still go by myself, but it's fine. And I feel like I use that gym opening as like, right, okay, that's when I'm going to go. And then I stopped kind of doing I was doing 2 sessions with my PT. I stopped doing one. And then it got to the point where it was getting in the way of my training split, if that makes sense. So, and it was just kind of I just fell in love with it.
Amazing. That's like what kind of happened to us with Gold Hill. Like, we were just like, oh, it's opening, should we check it out? And then it opened. 6 months later, we were still like, no. And then when I started doing the Couch Cut 5K, I said I was taking the plunge, and you were like, oh, I'll have a look at it with you because we've got the show coming up, and we kind of just dove in. But yeah, like, what you're doing is fantastic, because it will give those people that suffer with like social anxiety, people that suffer with just general fear of open spaces, it could be anything. And like I say, it could just be women that are still a bit worried about, you know, is someone going to gawk at me in the gym? Is somebody going to judge me for what I look like? And there's no shame in people feeling like that, because they're natural things that a lot of people feel. Some people can get over those things a lot easier than others, and that will then allow them to, like you say, start at the bottom, start with the basics, build up that confidence, and then hopefully, like yourself, progress to the public thing, and then, you know, maybe start a little cycle. And I do think that the weight loss journey stuff and everything, I always say, if it's by one person's changed a life, you're basically saving the life that you saved yourself when you started the journey. And, you know, yours is on a bit more of a mass scale at the minute, but I do think, like, for me, I got told to go in late one day for work, and I decided I was going to make a podcast, spoke to Ryan about it. How long has it taken to put it all together? A month?
Something like that.
I've kind of blitzed it and gone crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you put your mind to it, I think you can understand this a lot.
You've just got to do it.
Got in that space, just got to go for it.
Yeah. And I think it is the fear. Like, I spent years not being able to, like, I've talked about this a little bit on my Instagram a few times. It was to the point where I was so anxious that I couldn't even stop my car next to somebody's car at the traffic lights, because I just thought they were going to laugh at me.
Wow.
For being a big person, and you know, I used to see myself as just this like ugly person. I was like, just to be laughed at, that type of thing. Like, I wouldn't stop next to any vans were the worst. That was my worst fear. But it took me years, and it was only kind of in the last 6 months that I realised I'm not doing that anymore. Because it was so like normal to stop and to not stop next. I would have had to pull back or pull forward. I would not have not have stopped next to him.
Yeah, that's actually great. That's really nice of you to share that, to be honest with you, because
Yeah.
you know that's a real fear that, you know, someone out there will relate to that massively.
Yeah,
massively.
That's what I mean. So I've gone from that to then today running in front of I don't know how many people, because it was such a nice day. Everyone was out walking their dogs. So there was so many people when I went out this morning.
So that's a bit of contrast. It was so cold this morning that my hands froze to stiffness.
I wouldn't know. I've not even looked out the window today. So.
That's the next step now, is I need some running gloves.
I've literally got some today.
Did you?
From TikTok shop, yeah. They're like £2.80 something.
Yeah,
and
I need to get some
here, and they were very nice walking in.
I wore some gloves the other morning, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I still wear a t-shirt and shorts. That don't bother me.
Yeah.
It's just the
fingers.
Yeah,
Oh.
just the fingers.
Yeah, I've been putting mine in my sleeves because it's like really bitter. But yeah, I need some gloves. Yeah.
I think that's mostly everything. I think, is there anything that you'd like to leave us with? Like any, you know, information for anybody out there,
or anything? Like anything. It's information for anyone who might be considering taking Manjaro or the other one.
Yeah.
And you know, combining that with a good diet and exercise or anything like that.
I think I would just say to anybody who wants to start it is to do it properly. So don't use it as a quick fix, because I know 90% of people taking it do, and that's where it's getting a bad name, is because people are using it not as it's intended to, and they're getting poorly, and it's getting a bad rep for that. If you're going to do it, use it as what it's supposed to be done, is a tool. It's a tool to help you to understand nutrition, to understand your body, to understand exercise, and to be able to do it. Without Manjaro, I wouldn't have been, like I said, I know I didn't lose a massive amount of weight on it, but I wouldn't be in the position that I am now without it. So definitely, I feel like if somebody's going to do Manjaro or Wegovy, just do it properly. Don't use it as a quick fix.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
I think I would like to say, you know, thanks for coming on. It's been great having you. Very insightful for me, for definite.
It's been
Ryan's
inspiring.
Yeah, Ryan's learned a whole new word.
You.
What word's that?
Wegovy.
Wegovy.
Yeah, Wegovy.
Yes.
It's the word of the day.
He says I've learned it. I forgot as soon as you stopped.
Yeah. But no, obviously, thank you so much for coming on. We've really enjoyed it having you. We do hope that you've enjoyed it and that you go away with a positive life for this, and maybe, you know, for yourself, this could be the next stepping stone for, you know, something like this for yourself, like maybe entering more stuff like this or doing things of your own ilk and keep pushing forward. Obviously, we want you to enjoy the rest of your Couch 5K journey.
Yeah.
Anybody that would like to follow, we'll pop it up one more time. Just here will be Jen's handle. And anybody here from Jen's side that would like to maybe see me and Ryan, I'll also pop down the two here. One will be my TikTok, and there will be the handle for the Instagram and the YouTube here. Obviously, other than that, guys, it's been great. As always, much love and peace.